Mark Wright, thanks for joining us today. First and foremost, congratulations on, I think, what was a very successful 2012-13 WNBL season.
Thanks. Well, you know, it was successful to a point, and you know, the actual home and away part of the thing was quite successful. We thought we put ourselves in a really strong position, and getting the double chance is exactly what we wanted. So, yeah, from that point of view, yeah, we did quite well.
What can you attribute the success of the last 2 years down to?
Good players, really good players. You know, I got some fantastic information from Bruce Palmer once said, if you want to be a good coach, get good players. If you want to be a great coach, you know, get great players. So, you know, I was a great coach last year and good coach this year, I suppose. But that being said and done, we've got some really great players, and they help you be a very, very good coach.
Let's just go back to the start of this season for a second more. You come into the season as defending champions. You had a couple of important players like Sarah Blitzabs and Carly Mijovic. What expectations did you have on yourself coming into this year? Big,
probably too big. And you know, people can tell you how hard it is to back up and win a back-to-back, but until you actually try and do it, I don't think anyone can really appreciate the pressure you do put on yourself, and it's the perceived pressure that I put on the players as well. You know, which it's easy to look back now and say that, but definitely by putting pressure on myself, I'm unwittingly putting pressure on the players, and that definitely happened.
3 on 2. Good rebound, 3 on 2.
McLeod finishes.
And that's exactly the result of that zone.
Also, you had 3 Olympians in the team, obviously Jenna and Kathleen, but also Krista Phillips. You know, the fact that it was an Olympic year coming off that, was that at all an issue that you had to address?
Look, I think it is. I think that they all went through their ups and downs with that. I think it's a really tough thing, especially you know, from Jenna's point of view, where she's been going, you know, domestic WNBL, WNBA, Opals, WNBA, WNBL. I mean, it's incredible. I don't know how they do it, and I think it's tough enough on the kids that keep jumping WNBL to Siebel, let alone the ones that go internationally. So from that point of view, it's tough, and I think as much mental as physical had to be managed as well as it could. But they're pros, those guys. I think they did it really well.
Now it's 3 on 2. Cumming can't finish. Monica Wright can. There's the strength.
Mate, you started the year in fantastic style. I think you're 6-2 after 8 games, and then you had a player like Monica Wright. Tell us about, you know, the team chemistry and the feeling at that stage of the year.
Well, I'm happy to say that you know, the finger of doom was pointed at us when Monica came in, but I'd like to think we proved everyone wrong by getting her in. She fell into our lap, and you know, I would have been a fool not to take her. But she's proven to be, you know, not just a great player, but a wonderful person and a tremendous addition to our team. I think she complemented a lot of things about, you know, with our players. She was much loved by the players, and we will do everything we can to try and get her back, because she's just amazing, not just her physical attributes. I think the crowd loved her. She built up a real following here, and you know, I'm a fan of hers, you know, so we'll try and do everything we can to bring her back.
Well, she certainly seemed to slot into your game plan of being high-powered offensively. Was that part of the strategy to really hit the scoreboard?
Yeah, it was. And I thought, you know, we're athletically gifted, and you know, you really got to cash in on that. I think we did that in most games, but obviously there's a point where, you know, sometimes you've got to grind it out, and I don't think we addressed that very well. I think it was all or nothing with us, and you know, against the teams who had the experience, and I'm not sure it was well known. We're the youngest team in the league, and it showed sometimes. It showed sometimes that we were still trying to go at 100 miles an hour when it really needed to be a tough it out, grind it out style. It's something we need to address and be better at next year. That there's times for running, and there's times for you know, getting down and getting dirty and making sure that it becomes possession basketball, and you're squeezing value out of every possession. I don't think we did that to the best of our ability, so that's something we'll need to do better next season.
Dandenong off to the races. This is what they love to do.
That's the way they get their points there, and that's the way they're the most comfortable, get out and run.
Well, let's just touch on the postseason finally. I mean, you go into the game against a Bendigo, and you know, you dropped the last regular season game before that. You know, what was the feeling in the team at that stage? Do you still feel that your best basketball was not far away?
I have to be honest, I have to say that I think the last game against Adelaide, I think was a monumental error on our behalf of not resting some people, and not, especially a few people with injuries. Krista was injured and had not got back to full fitness. Kathleen had been carrying a knee injury, and which was getting progressively worse, and we really should have rested her for that game. But as it turned out, ours, I say my pride, probably got in the way, and not that the players don't want to play. Of course, they would have argued that. But I should have been stronger and said, listen, you're not playing. But instead, a win was everything, and getting a win, winning form's good form. We wanted to go into the finals on a win, and through everything we had at Adelaide. So, I think we have to learn from that. And when you've got injured players, you've got to force them to take the time off.